Hey, so yesterday's video, day 7, got cut short, and I know well enough to go past that time limit, and there wasn't that much to it, so I'm just going to let that happen. But just to summarize, you were playing the game Fly Capture, no, sorry, that's today, Leapfrog, and the whole point of that is just to get used to the game and to practice adding tens and ones along the number line on the game board. So while they're playing that game, you as the teacher should be able to walk around and continue making notes and observations about the kids. Documenting their progress is key to this unit, so keep taking notes on paper as much as you can. Don't rely on your memory of what you see, because the documentation of what you're observing is a lot of the times taking place of the paper assessments that we used to use. So today's lesson is very similar to yesterday. We have a mini lesson of a number string, and then we have a game Fly Capture, which is a new twist on the game we played yesterday. For today, you just need the game supplies from yesterday and more copies of the game board. So now that you and your kids are used to the structure of a number string, we're going to take a look at the whole number string together today so we can see the progression of the skills that the kids are going to be learning. There are 7 different problems you'll do. The first one is 59 plus 1. Now, this one should be fairly obvious to the kids, hopefully. I encourage you to not let the kids dwell on joking about how hard it is, because you do have a lot of rich conversation to have ahead of you, and time is often limited. So 59 plus 1 is 60. That's easy. It should be easy. Great. Then you go to the next one, which is 59 plus 11. Now you can see that what's happening is we're trying to encourage the opposite order of adding. In the past, we would take leaps of 10 and then count on the ones. Here it actually makes more sense to add the 1 first and then take the leap of 10. So that's shown here in this number line. 59 plus 1 is 60, plus 10 gets you to 70. So moving on, we did get to the problem 48 plus 12. So we've gotten the idea that we're supposed to be adding the 1 first, but now we've skipped that first step of adding 2 and let them make that leap on their own. For 48 plus 12, well, it makes sense to add the 2 first to get to 50, and then the 10 to get to 60. Awesome. 58 plus 22 is the same idea. They're going to add the 2 and then take 2 leaps of 10. For the next one, we get, after the fourth problem, we take a little twist. This one's a little bit trickier. So 38 plus 6. Now, they might revert to just counting by ones here, but encourage them to go back and use the strategies they used on the first couple problems. 38 plus 6 doesn't lend itself to going up to the next decade, to 40, but you can if you break that 6 apart, if you separate it. So 38 plus 2 is 40, and then you need to add 4 more to complete the leap of 6 that you were hoping to make, which gets you to 44. If they don't suggest this when you're calling on different strategies, make sure that you bring this up on your own, saying, again, just you know a way that I saw a student once do this, and then show it. So it's not necessarily your idea. It's still student thinking. It's just not from someone necessarily in the room. Then you get to 38 plus 26. This one is exactly the same numbers as up before, but you have leaps of 10 as well. So I've shown 2 different ways that you might think about this. One is 38 plus 2 gets you to 40, plus 4 completes your leap of 6, gets you to 44, and then you do a leap of 10 to 54 and another leap of 10 to 64. An alternate way to consider this is starting at 38, making a leap of 2 to get to 40, then make your decade jump. So 10 to 50, 10 to 60, and then add on the 4 more. So here you're splitting the 6 up in the beginning of the problem and the end of the problem. You really have to hold on to those numbers in order to be successful with this one. But it makes those decade leaps a lot easier. So hopefully kids will share different strategies of talking this on their own. They'll have come up with these. But if not, make sure you get these up on the board. Then the last problem is the one that doesn't have any scaffolding, 59 plus 33. See if kids know. This one is a little bit easier, even though it doesn't have the scaffolding, because 59 is so close to 60. There's no way to miss that. So you're just pulling the 1 from the 33 to get to 60, and then choosing how you're going to add up the other 32. Now, today's game is called Fly Capture. It's generally just like yesterday, but the purpose of the game today is to encourage kids to move to the landmark numbers when adding. So you need all the same materials. You also need counters. I'm sorry, I didn't put this on the material list up at the top. But you'll need counters to go on each decade marker on the board, so 11 per child. I've put little pictures of flies here. Certainly if you have little plastic flies, those will be very popular, but if not, any little block or button or marker will do. So the goal today for the kids is to capture as many flies as possible, and you capture a fly by landing on a decade number. So another variation today is that they can roll the dice and pick the cards at the same time and then use them in any order. So yesterday we were really rolling the dice, taking those steps, picking the card, taking those leaps is how the game was introduced. If they introduced variation on that on their own, that's fantastic, but it was not part of the instruction of the game. Today, really show the kids that they should roll the dice. Let's say they got 6 and then take 1 leap. They could move 6 and then take a leap to 26. But for this game, it really makes more sense to leap to the 10, so you capture that fly, and then move 6 more. Then you land here. So let's say you're on 16 and now it's time for your next turn. Your partner has already gone. So you roll a 7 and 2 leaps. You're going to want to, if you want to capture the flies, jump 4 of your 7 to get to 20. Then take your 2 leaps, and then jump your remaining 3 to get to, what is that, 43? Yeah, because you want to hit every landmark along the way to capture those flies. If this is really hard for you and you need to leap first, then that's fine. But I think what should happen is that the kids are working collaboratively to help capture as many flies as possible. They should be able to help each other figure out how to get to all those points. I'm not writing the numbers in today because that was just tedious and looked sloppy, but today, just like yesterday, kids should be writing the numbers of every spot that they land on along the way on the board. So at the end of this game, you should see a trail of all of the places they landed. While kids are playing this game, this is another chance for you to make observations about the kids' progress as well as to differentiate. Please note that if kids are really struggling with this game, getting to the decades, that is a good sign that they don't know their pairs to 10. So this might be, those kids might need some intervention, practice of just learning and working with pairs of numbers that equal 10, 4 and 6, 7 and 3, etc. If you have need ideas for games or activities to give those kids on the side, please let me know and I will certainly share those with you. And that is today.